before I ask my question. So do you come from Holocaust survivors, or are you a Jewish family that didn't?
So my great-great-grandparents arrived here. A lot of our extended family was killed in the Holocaust, but our immediate
Your
family
great-great-grandparents, but not your grandparents.
Right.
Oh, do you have friends whose grandparents were Holocaust survivors or anything like that?
Okay, this is very weird.
I've helped write memoirs of Holocaust survivors.
Yeah. Their families are kind of messed up, right? Like my family is very messed up.
I mean, if you go through a trauma like the Holocaust, I would imagine
they teach that trauma between generations. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, trauma very often in a lot of circumstances is passed down. I mean, I know some kids of Holocaust survivors who turned out fantastic and some who didn't. I mean,
yeah. Okay, so you are officially woke. That is what wokeness is about. It's like, people's grandparents or their great-grandparents were slaves.
Well, it's okay. No, it's okay. Guys,
Fuck you! I'm talking.
Guys, I actually want to hear. I want to hear.
No,
it's okay. It's okay. I want to hear. Let's at least hear the argument. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Go.
What? He wants to hear me.
I do want to hear it. It's fine. Let him go. Let's hear it.
Come on. I'll just.
So explain how that's woke.
So I mean, the whole thing is like. Oh, let's see.
He was just preparing the question. That's why he got the reaction that he got. He was preparing the question.
So during Silent Calvin Coolidge's administration, do you know about like the Great Mississippi Flood back in the 1930s?
I understand that American history is filled with racial evil.
Yeah. And that causes some intergenerational trauma, which affects people's ability to be
so let me
effective, things like that.
Fine. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So if the idea is that history has consequences, of course that's true. That's not wokeness.
Yeah.
That is not wokeness. What wokeness suggests is that fundamental institutions in American society
are so... No, it doesn't.
Yes, it 100% does.
I ran Elizabeth Warren's campaign. I helped organize her volunteers around here.
See, bro, you shouldn't done that. You see why you did that, bro? You shouldn't done that. That does not make your argument better. It makes it worse. Because that means you're coming from a side of bias. Even Ben Shapiro answer was not even that good, but you came out as very weak, base and support for your argument. Is why you said that, man. Why, bro? How does that even make your argument better? Because you work with a politician? I'm gonna call you George.
I am a representative of wokeness.
Okay, well,
and that's just, this is all it is.
Well,
when I went to go get my first tattoo, the guy had lightning bolts and 88s tattooed on his neck. And as a Jewish person, that's really messed up. It's basically a threat.
There are racist people who exist. The argument that you're making, and I'm going to close with this because this is going in weird directions, and I don't really want to.
No.
Yeah, it's going very weird. Down. I don't know where this is going. Like maybe it's going kind of 4chan-ish, deep web conversations.
I really want to get.
I don't know.
I let you get out your arguments, and now it's time for me to respond because I let you say the full argument.
I'll let you respond, but
no, not but. Now's my turn.
You are not.
Ben Shapiro is not having it now.
Characterizing what I'm saying accurately.
Now it's my turn. Your definition is inaccurate. The reason your definition is inaccurate is because any sentient human being would acknowledge that history has consequences.
Right.
But if the idea is, but that's not what wokeism is. Wokeism is a different thing. Wokeism suggests that all inequalities of today are attributable to not only historic injustices, but also continuing injustices in the now. And that all disparity is attributable to discrimination.
Like that, but a conservative.
Not just that.
A conservative is the only person. I want to know why. Why is it that conservatives are the only people who define it like that? Why are conservatives the only people?
Okay, so we're gonna have to stop here because this is going nowhere. But
what's up?
I'm gonna have to stop with this with you because this is going nowhere. All I'm going to say is this. To sum up,
I just am trying to understand your perspective.
Shapiro, what politician? I disagree with the little thumb. I disagree. He went with the thumb like this. I disagree. That was funny.
Just one more second.
He's not okay. George is not okay.
On a fundamental level, you're shifting definitions to avoid the consequences of your own argument. And if the idea is... And
This is not
final
free
point.
speech.
And final
This
point.
is being censored.
And final point. If
I
you are
thought
going
you
to
were a free
hold on,
speech
if you are
warrior.
also, just final point to sum up there.
Man, the guy was not there to listen to Ben Shapiro. Wanted to say what he wanted to say.
Yeah, one more. I just want to make, honestly, I want to make one final point to sum up there. If the idea is that traumas of the past invariably bleed down into the present, that does not explain why certain groups that have been historically not only marginalized but slaughtered in mass genocide are some of the most successful groups in our society. So if the idea is...
Talking about the JUW.
If the idea is that past trauma always equals current inequality, or that my actions in, say, robbing a convenience store are attributable to bad actions that happened in Alabama in 1930, the answer to that is no. Don't rob the convenience store. The only way they are going to be able to break the chain of history is to make good decisions. What people on the left don't like to talk about is actual solutions. What they like to do is bitch about problems that existed 60 years ago and blame those for failures to solve them now.
That's okay. That is a good point. It's just, I think I was talking about this in one of my last videos. It's about this thing that we cannot really reach generational trauma. How are you gonna how can you fix generational trauma? I mean, what you gonna do? You're gonna look for everybody that was born in those years, and then everybody that was doing bad things those years. Are you gonna? Well, what you gonna do, huh? Well, what's the solution, George? Now, my question is, George, if you were standing there to say something, that's okay. I think you might have some valid points. You might have just, stand up and just go with it. But then when you start saying that you worked with this lady, I forgot her name now. Warren, I think it was the senator from Massachusetts, I think it is. Elizabeth Warren. And therefore, because you work with her, that means that you have more knowledge on wokeism. It is insane. Why would you just bring that? Also, George, when you have, conversation, it goes both ways, doesn't go one way. Screaming on top of your lawn and not allowing someone else to talk is not free speech. You're just being a little bit disrespectful. Let other people speak. And regarding Shapiro's point, I mean, he's used to this. I guess he just go to school campuses and just talk about this, which is good. I think it's good for us Americans to just hear both sides of the question and let them clash a little bit, right? Let them clash. If the conservative use the one dominating the conversation, okay, let it be. That way the left leaning can just sharp their knife a little bit. They might just recognize, oh, you know what? We might have some holes here. We need to fix them. In the other side of the conservative, they might have to think like the same way. Like we might just got a little bit lazy here, so we starting to sharp some of the knife. George, don't say F off to a crowd. You don't know who are in those crowds. You really don't. You have to be careful. Okay? You coming up to this crowd, you don't look that strong either. I'm just saying, things might go sideways, right? I'm just saying. I wouldn't do that. Right? I wouldn't do that. But what do you guys think? You think George was a little bit off here, or did he had a point just saying F you, I'm talking? Or did Shapiro needed to just leave him talking, Here's his endless points. Let me know. I'm gonna really appreciate it. You guys are doing a very good job with the comment section. I'm really learning a lot. But any comments that you guys have that I'm missing, feel free to do so. Alright? Thank you.